Poos is on the loose. You can be my buddy today. You can be the co-pilot. I got a different co-pilot today. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Let me see if I can show you who I got here. Where's my girl? Where's my girl? Where'd she go? She right here? Oh, she's over here. Oh, I don't know if you can see her. She's behind the frame. Oh, she a good girl. She good. You can show your small face. Come here. Oh, there I am. Oh, there she is. She looking a little bit chubby. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to see you. I shouldn't talk about how anybody looks because I just went to take a shower and we have no hot water. I wonder if the tank needs to be replaced. Fan tank stick. We'll see what happens next. So if you're looking at your screen thinking, oh, she looks like a dirty little pig today. Well, I am a dirty little pig today. I hope that we have some waters. I hope we have some hot water soon because it is damn cold out there. It is pouring rain again. I want to start Monday on a positive note. Let's turn that frown upside down. So far, some challenges, but it was a wonderful weekend. And did you celebrate International Punch Needle Day? I know we did celebrate on Friday night with our all punch Friday night gallery episode, and then on Saturday morning we gathered again for breakfast, and Rebecca White Martin was with me from Storyteller Wool, and I feel like we did a great show that morning as the opening act for the Oxford event, which is the reason for the day. They are the reason there is an International Punch Needle Day. Sorry, I got all my shelving and stuff behind me. There we go. So we celebrated greatly this weekend. I haven't even moved my punch needle piece from beside me here. I was working on a Halloween piece just quickly because I need to work on something. There's no extra time for different projects. And you know what I did here? I mean, you know what I did because I do this all the time. I found a ball of yarn that is my favorite colors. Blues and purples, well, more purples and blues, more purples, right? And I decided to punch the background because I love multicolor purple yarn, but it is going to be a really big problem doing the rest of it, isn't it? Because it's all busy and it's a bit of a Klimt-esque piece. And I have done what Deanna always does, which is grab a pretty color and just start blasting it. And then I struggle with, there's not enough contrast. Why did I do that? Let's see what happens. It might be that I can make this work. We'll have to see what happens. It might require some outlining or some deviations from a literal color plan so that I end up with something else. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I got to be me, obviously, right? What else can I be? So we'll see. I'm going to see if I can pull that together. But I do have to reroute and get back to the rose book stuff. There's so much stuff going on. I was just working on Sonia Delauney, the Jazz Age, massively overlooked and sadly forgotten artist, female artist of the early 20th century, who was a textile designer, sort of a fashion designer by default, and a painter. And her name got lost amongst a lot of other famous, mostly men of that period, who did very similar work, particularly in textiles. And her name is not so famous, and that's a shame. So just like with the Friedensreich Hunterwasser, I would like to make Delauney more of a household name. At least I want to start doing that here with our brand. I will be running that class on Wednesday, and it is a recorded class. So I know there's some people signed up for it. I hope more people sign up for it. It will be a fantastic couple of hours learning about a sort of superhero of textiles and celebrating the life of a woman who should be a household name. Beautiful artwork, and we'll come up with some great compositions that relate to her style, her work, her techniques, motifs, and mostly her pattern designing. So for those of you who love contemporary, abstract, modernist, even surreal, cubist, you will love this particular design like. So I hope that I will see you there on Wednesday. This weekend I'm going to be in Maine because I'll be speaking and teaching at the Tin Peddlers Guild. So if you are in or around Maine and you would like to know how to show up for that event, you could either email the Tin Peddlers or email me, and I will figure out how to get you in touch. It is an Atha Guild, and we are talking about Atha today because the new issue of Atha magazine came, issue number 272, April, May 2025. I can put you in touch with the Atha Guild if you are anywhere near there and you would like to be at that talk this weekend. I think it's Saturday. And I will be doing an all new presentation that is they asked for a composition class, so a little bit on color and composition, specifically about spring motifs. So I'll be doing a lot of sort of primitive motifs. It'll be a completely new class. Like I have never done this specific class before. So that should be a lot of fun. And if you're anywhere near there and you can make it, let me know. We can make that work because, of course, Atha guilds, whether you are a member or not, welcome visitors. You're always allowed to come and check the guild out before you join. So that's always possible. If you are nearby and you would like to do that, I would love to see you there. Kaz, good morning. It is snowing in Wisconsin. I feel like we are sliding backwards in so many ways. I am freezing. The radiator is obviously not on with no heat. You have snow outside your window. Holy mackerel. Is it April? Like for real? Is it April? Oh my gosh. Kaz, great to see you. Cheryl, it's great to see you. Good morning on the Cape. Hopefully get the leg wrap off tomorrow and get to bend your knee again. That must be driving you crazy. What a weird feeling, right? Oh man, well that's good news though. Moving right along. Then lots of PT. Yeah, I was just talking about PT the other day because I had it. Remember when I pulled my arm like out of the socket at the skate park, just tripping on my flip flops and stepping on my glasses, not doing anything athletic. God, it was forever in physical therapy, and it was amazing how well they did. And then another course of it later on with the acupuncture and everything. It's funny what works, what doesn't, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure yours will work great. Mine worked great too. I mean, my arm works again, right? So it must have worked. Sandy, great to see you. It was great to see you on Friday too. I hope your weekend was good. I'm curious if you got in all of the things that you wanted to get in. You did the Noah Webster house, right? And you were hoping to get over to the Mark Twain house. I wonder if that all worked out. Dog on my lap in Pennsylvania. Oh, you made it back home, day off and snuggling with Fiona. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Judy, great to see you. Good morning to you too. Linda B, good morning from Chilly Rain in New Jersey. Yeah, I hope so too. My husband is not handy, right? That is an understatement. That is the understatement of all time. So yeah, I'm wondering too because I am a shower every person day. It cannot be otherwise. I can't make it. So I mean the kids can be pigs, and he can be a pig, but I feel I need to take showers. So that funny 21st century mindset, right? So we'll have to see how that goes. Fingers crossed that he fixes it. All right. Kaz, it's always something. Yeah, it is. It is always something. Man. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what the it's this week. It's frustrating. Super frustrating. And all this rain, man. It's all this rain. More on that in just a second because having this kind of rain, I feel like number one, I'm living in the Netherlands again. And number two, it's impossible to take photos of stuff that I want to show you. And that is really frustrating. More on that in a second. Dave, great to see you. Good morning. Happy Monday. Karen, happy Monday. Great to see you. Good morning from sunny Coal Black Forest, Colorado. Well, it's not snowing there, right? Do you have snow on the ground from the last time, I wonder? International Punch Needle Day was fun. Was a great day, wasn't it? I had a lot of fun sitting together. And then, it is the weekend. So I had to take the kids out. We went to the book barn and I found a couple of really fun books on quilts. I mean, I have hundreds of books on quilts. And I just donated about, I don't know, 200 to the church where we have a little fiber art library that's permanent. It just sits on the bookshelf for people to take them out or keep them or whatever. But I found some quilt books I had not seen before. And in anticipation of the full Magpie, right, which the theme is barn quilts, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we're still working on the summer Magpie, which is now available for pre-order. Did you see that? It's available for pre-order. I put the cover up. I should have put the cover into this slideshow. Let me show you the cover. Judy did this cover. Judy and I are only doing one cover a year now because we like to see other people's work on the cover as well. If you remember last year, I forfeited the second cover for Kelly Smith's cover. I could not have done a cover like that. So that turned out to be a good call. Judy did this cover. You can sort of see it. It says Bon Voyage. It's an old-time valise with stickers from all over the world and some little pamphlets from faraway places, some gloves. It's a very old-fashioned kind of an image. It's like an Agatha Christie murder a murder is about to happen on a train, and this woman is arriving with her blue bonnet, her bag, her gloves, and her valise. Can you let that animal outside? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I need a special sort of what is it? Not mantra, but I need to, on my little chalkboard, put some words of inspiration, because sometimes I think I'm going to flip my flipper, and not in a good way. Okay, so anyway, so that's available for pre-order. And you are welcome, invited, and encouraged to send your work in between now and May 1st. A lot of you are working on articles and features, and you know that the cutoff is May 1st. Please send to ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com just so I can see that everything's there, and then I will forward it on to Judy, share it with Shannon, and it will be in the mix. And if you have something that's general summer theme, doesn't have to be the theme of the summer issue is Wish You Were Here vacation postcards. But if you just have a summer piece that you would like to put into the gallery, be sure that you send that as well, ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com, because there is a gallery section. We never have, sometimes people ask, do we do like an issue that is like the best of the best? No, we do not. That is not my philosophy. I personally don't feel the need to compete within rug hooking. I don't have feelings about it one way or another. If other people do like to compete, that's absolutely natural, and that is the nature of crafts, arts, crafts, fine arts, everything. But I don't feel like that. And my whole feeling at Ribbon Candy Hooking is I don't like it when there's winners and losers. I like it when there's just winners. I enjoy looking at all work, not just the best. And I feel juried situations are very subjective because there's all these layers of technical thought and personal taste that you cannot remove from the judging process. And I feel like no matter what, in any judging situation, there are winners, losers. The losers feel bad. The winners are proud for 5 minutes. I don't know that it's worth creating those situations. At least I don't want to create a situation like that with Magpie. So if you send something in for the gallery section, you will see it in the gallery section. And just check your box. If it's important to you that I get it, just check that the thing's sent, because lately, and I've said this before with my stupid Gmail, I can see that sometimes things are queuing and they never do send. And then people will write to me and say, oh, I sent you this. I'm very upset. I didn't see it in Magpie Times. And I'll look and say, I don't have it. So just make sure that you see sent, I've got it. I typically write back, say, got it, great, all set. It will be in there. So we're putting together the spring issue now. Wish You Were Here vacation postcards, but then May 1st. So the issue after that will be barn quilts, and we are talking about like the barns with the wooden quilts on them. But we're talking about road trips with barn quilts to see, photographs of road trips, right? Fall colors as you drive around looking for barn quilts. But also we're talking about quilts in the history of quilting. So that will be a very different cover. And a very different issue, and a lot of fun. And Rebecca White Martin is doing the cover of the next Magpie, the one after Wish You Were Here. So that will be number 7 already. So lots to look forward to and lots to plan forward to, right? Jessica, good to see you. Good morning. It is cold and wet there in Ohio. Oh, we are all in the same boat. I think I'll be listening while I block several pieces and catch up on laundry. That sounds good. That reminds me, I want to string like a piece of twine behind me for my green screen so we can have the green screen back. The reason I don't want to put my mantle behind me is because that's now my exercise space. Do I use it often? No, I haven't used it for a few weeks. I haven't sat back there and done sit-ups for a few weeks, but I hope to. So I think I'm going to string something back there so we can just have a cooler setup than this. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes people write and say, I miss the mantle. I miss the mantle too. And if I could figure out how to get it somewhere else in my now small studio room, I would do that. Let's see what happens. Be creative with that. Carol, great to see you. Good morning from Northford. So happy to see you on this gloomy day, right? It is like a spate of gloomy days. And I know spring showers bring whatever flowers, right? April showers bring May flowers. Is that it? Yeah, and all of that. What happened in March? Was it in like a lion, out like a lamb, or was it in like a lamb? Must have been in like a lamb, out like a lion. Because, I mean, man, it's been raining for weeks, right? It's like biblical times right here. So I hope that you are all pushing through that. I feel like we were extremely lucky this year. At least my general vibe, because many of you often write and say, how are you feeling? I'm not feeling so good. I'm feeling a bit depressed. You know, it's always a thing for me too. And this year, I feel like I squeaked by in a very lucky way. The weather was right. Everything seemed fairly positive. We had a lot of projects we were working on together, and we still do. And all of that was keeping me going. But I'm telling you, I'm hitting a wall right now with this weather, right? And if you're feeling the same way, just hang in there. We're going to wake up one of these mornings and go outside, and it's going to feel like, oh, it's finally like spring/summer, right? I'm feeling it. And then I'm going to be reminding you to put your suntan lotion on, particularly the arm that is in the car window, right? Because remember that chunk that got taken out of me? Person who is never in the sun, but my arm is always up. I'll be reminding you of that sooner than you think. That sun will be back, and then we'll have different things to complain about. Oh, just hang in there. April is turning out to be cranky. It sure is. Holy moly, Samantha, great to see you. Sandy says, yes, Noah Webster House and Mark Twain. I'm so glad you got to both. So enjoyed both. And family time. I also saw this past week that Val Kilmer passed away after a long battle with cancer because he played Mark Twain, if you remember that. And he was he was a huge fan of Mark Twain, and he was a very frequent visitor at the Mark Twain House in Hartford. Beautiful place to visit, particularly around the holidays too, because they decorate really beautifully for the holidays. Out like an angry lamb, right? Ooh, that's a great idea for an image. Out like an angry lamb. Ooh, I like that. Remember how we were brainstorming about sayings that would be very visual and a lot of fun to hook? Out like an angry lamb. That would be one of those sayings that if you did it and the lamb was truly like irate, people would go, "Oh, I get it. I get it. I get the joke." That would be a great idea. I really like that. Karen says, "Let me know if you need a virtual exercise buddy." I might need it. I might need a virtual exercise buddy because I'm apparently not accountable at all. I'm not accountable to myself. I'm always so busy that I go, well, I can't possibly enjoy exercising right now because I'm never going to get my stuff done, and I would like to sleep at some point tonight. But I do. I'll give myself one more week to get it together because I have not been good. In like a lion or out like a lion, depending on what's going on for you in your weather. Yeah, it's just been rainy nonstop. What does it mean? Who knows? But you know what it means to me is I can't get good photos of stuff. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff I just put up on ribbon candy hooking, and I'm not happy with the photographs at all. I'm going to show you. Hold on one second. Let's come over here. Yep, to Atha. I'm not happy with these photos, so I'm going to retake them as soon as I can. But I want to show you. I have been working on some new stuff. And I cannot get good pictures. I normally take my pictures outside in a light box. It's just my way. I feel I get the best pictures. This one is not too bad. I have 4 new Crazy 8 sets. These are not swatch sets. These are double the size. These are Crazy 8 sets. You'll see the link to them with the sizing and the pricing and the choices in today's show. You'll see a bunch of new links in today's show, including the pre-order for Magpie number 6 and 4 sets of Crazy 8s and our swatch sets. So these are the sets that I dyed last week. And I will take more photos when when the sun comes out. This is called the Neighbor's Yard. And this color set is brights and springy, summery colors. And it is based on the idea that somehow, at least for me, I always feel that the neighbor's yard is better, that their flowers are better, that there's more of them, that it's greener, that their grass is lush and nicer, and everything is shiny over there as opposed to our crappy yard. That's at least my impression, but I'm also a person who always feels there's a better parking space and a better table in the restaurant. So maybe it's just me. But the neighbor's yard are pretty perfect spring and summer colors. This is a really bright set. I don't feel like it's as bright in the picture as it needs to be. It's a little bit more neon, and this is called Vegas Garden. It's got a couple of lights, like dark light, dull bright, so everything's in there. But thank you, Dave. But it's a little bit brighter than this. If not brighter, it's more saturated than this. It's a bit washed out because of the gray coming through the window. This photo is a little out of focus. Sorry about that. That's me. Whisper It's Spring. So with the exception of a couple mid-tone colors, these are all very, very light values of pinks and greens and a yellowish green, a couple of sort of brownish drab, very light drabs. But Whisper It's Spring is a good stash builder, or if you're doing a very pale or deco palette piece, this would be a good set for you. I'm trying to include some similar colors in each piece so that you have enough material to really get some mileage. This set is called the Painter's Garden. And with this set, I'm thinking, you know, when you see paintings of gardens or potted flowers, like vases of flowers and baskets of flowers, the colors that fine art painters use are typically not the same colors that we use as rug makers. They're all off center. Like there's always the like tiger lily orange, the raspberries, the rusts, the dark berry colors like that dark rose, and the unusual greens, right? Not the grassy greens, nothing straightforward. So these are all kind of off the beam, off center flower colors, but that are a little bit lighter, deeper, drabber, or darker than what you would automatically think if I said vase of flowers. So Painter's Garden is maybe just a more painterly opportunity to use mostly greens and pinks, but in a way that's a bit more impressionist style. And then I did a bunch of the swatch sets, and I'm not happy with these photos, so I'm going to switch them as soon as I can. This is Mint Gumdrop. This is very, very icy light green going to a deep grassy, it's just like a green gumdrop green. This one is called Bubblegum, and again, a icy, icy, very, very light whisper of a pink to, I wouldn't say a neon, but a deep saturation of a true bubblegum pink, like bazooka pink. And this one is Chocolate Bar, which goes from a creamy, very light brown through cocoa colors to a very dark brown, right? So the last are a bit darker, but you get a lot of medium tones with this one that go slightly toward other browns, just a hair. All of them will go together and all of them will go in an ombre sort of gradient, but they are distinctly different colors too. Circus Purple goes again from this icy light purple to a high saturation, bluish, almost neon purple. I mean, not neon, right? Because we're still talking about a sort of mid-tone, but it is very bright with a deep saturation. That's Circus Purple. Cranberry Bog goes from whispery pink to these more rosy colors. I put two of them out of order. If you notice that, sorry about that. I put the fourth one should be one earlier. It's coming one late. Stupid. I'll have to unstaple it and fix that. But it goes right to cranberry, right? It's like the color of a ripe cranberry. It's not aubergine. Sometimes we say cranberry and we mean maroon or aubergine. This is really the color of an actual fresh cranberry, like that red color, or a cranberry bog. The color is called cranberry bog. And this is maybe the hardest one to describe, but the colors are pretty right on. It goes from a very, very light blue through the mediums to turquoise, and then with a hint of teal. It has a little bit of a teal color in the last swatches. It heads more toward a deep, like an ocean green. That's more of a blue green. So we go from light blues through turquoise, and then we end up with a hint of like a bit more of a deep green in there. So that one is called Deep End. Let me just hold on one second. I just want to show you, I have this new design that I'm putting on all of my tags. So I'm trying to be professional now and finally, and put a tag on stuff. It never occurred to me before, but with the swatch sets, I realized I needed a tag. And if you maybe didn't see with the swatch sets, but on the back, there's like a blank box where I can say what the name of the swatch set is. But on the front, I've got this piece that I'm using for like branding and stuff. But I also want to use it. I'm going to make this into a shirt and a tote as well. I also want to use it as a straight up pattern without the words ribbon candy hooking, because I think it makes a great either mug rug, full size rug, wall rug. It's a great inspiration piece, I think, because it's got really sort of 1920s flowers, but within this more Persian rug setting. It's a more contemporary, whimsical, sort of humorous feel to this rug. And I like the little hook in the middle. So thank you, Judy. I have my moments. I just feel like they are not best on display when I can't get a good photo. And I'm really frustrated, but I mean, really, it's been 2 weeks that I've been waiting. Even both weekend days for us were rainy here because I thought surely, Huh. Anyway, that's what's going on over here. So I want to talk about Atha magazine. Atha has their new issue out. Atha, if you are new to us, is the Association of Traditional Rug Hooking Artists. They will be having their conference, which traditionally has been every 2 years. At the moment, it remains every 2 years. The next one will be in 2026 in Salt Lake City, Utah. Utah. Yes, Utah. I've been there a million times. What's wrong with me? Um, Beautiful small city, very walkable city. So I'm hoping to be able to get to that myself. That will be again 2026. That should be the fall of 2026, right, Karen? And so the new magazine is out. Let me give you the stats on it first. New magazine, 82 actual pages, so 83 including the back inner cover. Um, and this is a magazine, if you are new to us, that represents all of the Atha chapters. So I always refer to it as something of a scrapbook because what it is a magazine that is in place to showcase what is going on, what is being made, what is happening, what sort of gatherings, events, challenges, what is happening from chapter to chapter across the U.S. What are all the chapters up to? We're interested. Tell us the news from your corner of the world, your Atha chapter. And that's what Atha magazine does, is it fills us in on what's going on in all the many chapters. And we get a glimpse of some feature articles by Atha members, and we get a glimpse of some general articles about what guilds are doing and when guilds have gathered. Of course, they all gather frequently, infrequently. It really depends on the guild and the location. I know some guilds meet like twice a week, other guilds once a month, or sometimes not once a month, not even. So if you are in a place where you would like to join a guild, you would like that sort of social angle, that opportunities that a guild provides, you would like the opportunity to go to a guild meeting and hear somebody speak or demonstrate or teach. And Atha guilds typically put a lot of programming into place. And I'm speaking at an Atha guild in Maine this weekend, right? The Tin Peddlers. So they do have a lot of speakers coming with lots of interesting content. And even when and if there are dates in your guild where speakers are not coming, you go and you sit with your buddies, you make buddies, you see what they're working on, you support each other, encourage each other, share opinions, share techniques and tricks and secrets, and get better and more inspired by each other. That is the nature of community. That is the nature of a guild. So if you are wondering whether there's an Atha guild in your area, just go on Atha's website, right? ATHA, rug hooking. It'll pull up their guild. Locations will be one of the choices. And the magazine is a separate entity, right? The magazine, if you are an Atha Guild member, you're a guild member. If you have a subscription to the magazine, those are two separate things. Then you have a subscription to the magazine. They're not the same thing. But guilds are featured in the magazine. So when I open the magazine, there's also a lot of advertising, to be honest, in the magazine, as I suppose there must be because it must be printed, right? It is very expensive to print a magazine, as I have well learned. So we have news from chapters, we have advertising, announcements of events that are coming up, like the Atha Convention in 2026, like Sauter Village every year in August in Ohio, and and then some feature articles. So let's get started. There's always lots to look at. So as usual, yes, Karen says fall of 2026. As usual, thank you, Sandy. I'm not showing you everything that's in here because I hope that you subscribe to Atha magazine. There are only 3 magazines that cover our craft. Magpie Times, I'm going to put that first because that's the one that I publish. Atha magazine and Rug Hooking magazine, and they are all distinctly different. But if you have the budget to support all of them, it's obviously very important to see this craft in print. And I hope that if you are able to subscribe to Atha, that you do subscribe. So I don't want to show you everything that's in here. And I always have to give the disclaimer. I know it's boring because you've heard it before. I'm picking things out based on variety, based on people that, who we don't always look at. I'm not picking out the things that I think are the best. I never want to give you the impression that if I skipped your piece in Atha magazine or Rug Hooking magazine or Magpie Times, I don't want you to ever think that I don't like it or I don't think it's a masterpiece. I go through quick, right? Totally thought I was taking a shower this morning, so I was in an extra hurry. Um, I love everything that I see. Everything that I see has great merit, creativity. I see the inspiration, and everything has great value. So it's just a question of I photograph some stuff and not other stuff. Lana, great to see you in Texas, in the Texas Panhandle. Maybe the hot water heater went out. What does that mean? Does that mean it's broken if it went out? I'm just wondering. I hear him moving around. Doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to start. I promise I'm not going to start. It's Monday. I have to be good, right? I have to be good. So I want to start with one of the images way at the beginning of this issue of Atha, a beautiful image. Let me get there first, and then I'll share. Oop, wait a minute. So this is the cover. Hang on one second. Let me see where the cover write-up is so I can say, okay, on our cover, Hummingbird by Kaylee Davis. This is on page number 34. Let me get there real fast. Hummingbird by Kaylee Davis, Kaylee Davis Bordovsky of Trophy Club, Texas. Is that in the Panhandle, Lana? I wonder if, I don't know where the Trophy Club Guild is. Oh, she's from Trophy Club, Texas. The guild is Atha Region number 9, Texas Rug Runners Chapter. Ooh. Ooh, listen to this. Kaylee says, I am 31 years old. She's very young, isn't she? And have been painting and crafting most of my life. I am a physician as my profession, which led me to a sweet friend who introduced me to the art of rug hooking. I have been hooking since September of 2024, so she's very new. And this is my second completed piece. Inspiration, Hummingbird, a painting by Julie Marriott. Sizes 12 by 16. Materials mostly wool, size 4 to 6 cuts, but I also incorporated satin, ribbon, yarn, and felt. This is Kaylee's second piece, and it is on the cover of Atha magazine. And you know what else? It deserves to be on the cover of Atha magazine. Isn't that fantastic? Someone 31 years old coming into the craft, starting out like this, and having the great sort of privilege and honor, rightly deserved because this is a masterful piece, of being on the cover of a magazine. Isn't that fantastic? Kaylee, if you are watching, I'm so happy for you. You so rightly deserve to be here. This is a super appealing cover. Such a great, I'm going to say the word painterly again, twice in one episode. Cover. It's got such an artistic flair to it. I know it's based on a painting by Julie Marriott. I don't know Julie Marriott, but this is a great choice. Love the colors, love the shapes, love the energy. I really love the repetition of the lime green colors. I love the rosy, soft, sort of dusty rose of the hummingbird's head with all of the pops of the truly bright red around it, the purples, the periwinkles, and all of this white, right? With this peacock blue background. Really great, isn't it, Marilyn? Great to see you. Oh, Karen says if the gas heater, then maybe the pilot light is out. Okay, I'm going to relay this to him. We'll see how far he gets in the meantime. I just love the peacock background with this color. This color palette, it's a fairly limited color palette, but these are the right colors, right? This is maybe 5 reds, 4 or 5 greens, the teal, the blue, purple. There isn't actually blue. There's maybe 2 different purples, 3 different purples. It looks like maybe 2 whites, maybe 3. It's not unlimited, but the color families are green, red, and blue, because the purple really is more of a blue purple than a red purple. But look how colorful it is within those color families, right? This is actually technically quite hard to do and to get it right. Kaylee's gotten it right out of the gate on her second project. Congratulations on a beautiful cover. Really, stylistically, it's very different. And I love the composition of this piece, right? The way that the bird is framed with his little head looking over his shoulder. The negative space around that long beak really clues us into what kind of bird this is. and there's so much sharpness to the beak, which is almost at the same angle as the little branch he's standing on, sort of a diagonal, and everything else around the hummingbird is literal and visually identifiable, but fairly chaotic in an impressionist style, right? Very interesting piece, very well done. Good instinctive decisions being made here. I think this is absolutely a beautiful cover. Coming to Atha, moving to Region 7, the Oak Ridge Cottage chapter. And this piece is by Kathy Morton of Rochester, Minnesota. MN. Is that Minnesota, right? Kathy says, in the summer, my thoughts turn to beautiful flower beds and raised boxes full of vegetables. All of my hooking time is spent in the evenings when the sun has set. I wanted to design a mat to hang in front of my entry for the summer months. I began looking for inspiration in other cultural design styles. Art Nouveau has always appealed to me because it pairs so well with the decorative arts. It is often inspired by natural forms such as sinuous curves of plants and flowers. This style was widely used in interior design, textiles, jewelry, etc. Since I am in love with French images, I came across a 1910 magazine ad for a prominent Paris department store. It featured a lovely lady in a dress of her times surrounded by an exquisite border of poppies and greenery. Since I needed a long design for the wall I was eyeing, that border spoke to me. I have never been able to grow poppies in my yard. I decided to use a more pastel approach. Birds are also a favorite subject of mine, so a dove was added. The finished mat is called French Poppies and is 16 by 44. It was hooked with dyed wool in cuts of 4, 6, and 8.5 on a linen background. Absolutely beautiful. I can for sure see the Art Nouveau influence of this piece. And part of the Art Nouveau influence, three things. Bird aside, because birds are not always part of it, but the bird is a lovely touch, particularly when it's positioned over an open poppy like this. I do love the sort of deviation from the bright poppy red. I love me a great poppy red. It has such Monet connotation in my mind. I love to see a slightly different version of the poppy, a slightly more antiqued color palette for poppy flowers. So the things in my mind that make this distinctly Art Nouveau, the way that the flowers stand up at attention, like little soldiers, right? The position of those standing stems, strong verticals, that is one of the sort of tropes that is always used in Art Nouveau. The positioning of the flower heads, right? Seeing them at different tilts, seeing the repetition of the same flowers, but at different angles, almost like the artist was doing a study of the flowers and then used all of the drawings of the study in the same piece. The third element in my mind that makes this super Art Nouveau is the solid background, right? So doing something in white or even a bright background, but a solid background, not really interrupted. It's decorative, right? Not interrupted with other information like a distant house or hillside, a horizon line, clouds. Art Nouveau is typically decorative and was used for illustration. So, and this one certainly was. It was used as the ad for a Paris department store. So what a great inspiration piece. It really ticked all the boxes for Kathy because she was looking for a tall piece. She was looking for something in the arts and crafts or Art Nouveau style that would go with the decorative arts she already has. She had a space in mind, and then she kind of happened upon this advertisement, which for 1910 would be out of copyright for sure. You don't need to ask anybody about that. And she created this beautiful piece, French Poppies. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to an article for the next piece. And again, I'm skipping some stuff that is all beautiful. It's just a question of time. This article is called Loops of Love from Atha, region number 9. Again, Texas. This is Huffman, Texas, the Stash Sisters chapter. And this article in this piece is by Suzanne Previtt Schurer. And Suzanne writes, "It was about 7 years ago that my daughter let me know that she was trying to get pregnant. In a rush of excitement, the first thing I thought of was this wonderful alphabet rug that my friend Pam Harrington had hooked. It was actually the first hooked rug I'd ever seen and was one of my favorites. You see, Pam was one of the original Stash sisters and had taught me how to hook about 3 years previous to this. I told Pam that I wanted to duplicate her idea of the rug, but to put personal touches in it. I visualized my grandchild, not yet conceived. Let me come back to you here for a second. Not yet conceived, crawling on the floor with his or her mom learning the alphabet. My daughter is a very talented special ed teacher, and I know she uses a lot of manipulations and lessons, um, manipulatives, and objects in her lessons, and I wanted this to be something meaningful and helpful. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. So, Suzanne knew she wanted her own design, and she started out by drawing an animal for each letter. She said, I am not a natural artist by any means, but I was surprised that I could draw some quite cute primitive profiles of animals. Each animal was drawn about the same size. I struggled with some letters, N, for example. So N is represented not by an animal, but by a nest with robin's eggs in it. Rather appropriate for my not yet born grandchild. X is represented as an X-ray tetrafish, something my son-in-law would recognize as he is an avid amateur ichthyologist. U could have been an umbrella fish, but aside from the fact that they look ridiculous, I felt I had exhausted the genre with the X-ray tetra. So U became an umbrella with a grandchild under it. See, this is so meaningful, isn't it? All these, every letter thoughtfully rendered in a way that celebrates the letter of the alphabet for learning purposes, but also sort of bending her own rules a little bit and incorporating things that make sense, like the bird in the nest and the child under the umbrella, right? Making thoughtful decisions as she goes along. I want to show you the rug again. Well, first let me show you the article because it's a good full-size article. And there are, when I say full size, Atha does 4 pages, which I really like, right? So lots of people get articles in there. And you see the whole guild, that's the family right there. The guild is here. So it is a beautiful article. It is certainly a group project. But I want to share one of the things that she did in this article that she mentions. Let me come back to you with the piece. Sorry, I have it tipped a little bit. I'm going to make it just a little bit larger. I didn't realize I had it quite so small. Hang with me for a second. And I can, yeah, that's about good. That's about good. Let me see how big this piece is. It's big, 5 feet by 9 feet. That's big. So you see full view of the rug, starting with A for A for and B for B. And you see a kind of snake around, no pun intended. And you see at the top, the child with the umbrella. This is really sweet. So if your eye is picking out all of the different letters, I think that's just what you're supposed to do. One of the things she said that I wanted to share with you, I thought was important. She talks about, when I had all the animals drawn, I had the idea to have a river run through the rug, as my daughter's family lives on a piece of land with the Abita River running through it. I wanted to have the letters floating down the winding river with animals on the bank next to their representative letters. I put the drawings down on the floor and arranged them in some sort of order. Realizing I was going to end up with a huge rug, it ended up being 5 foot by 9 foot. I taped 2 clear plastic shower curtains together, laid them over the design on the floor, and I think that's because of the size, right? That's where the 2 comes in. And with a Sharpie marker, I drew on the shower curtain the outlines of the animals and the river's edge. I had the idea to hook the animals on a small piece of linen and then attach it to a continuous backing so that I could hook a good portion of the rug while I was traveling or hooking at gatherings. I received mixed opinions about this idea, with some people insisting it wouldn't work and others not so sure. A surefire way to make it work, to make me do something, is to tell me that I can't do it. Good for you. Good for you, Suzanne. I was emboldened by the late Carrie Martin, who just happened to live close to my daughter in Louisiana. At the Stash Sisters 2019 hook-in, she spent almost the entire day helping me color plan my rug. When I told her about my idea for the applique method I was contemplating, she said, "Why not?" I was quite proud at having invented a new technique. When she continued, "You know, Suzanne, I think someone has already done this. I'm sure it will work." This is such a cute story. Let me just come back to you here. Yes, people have done this, but to Suzanne, it was brand new, and in her orbit, nobody knew that nobody had heard of this, and they were saying probably not going to work, right? So let's talk about that for just a minute. And good for you, Suzanne, for figuring it out. We're talking about a fabric, right? We're talking about a fiber craft. Rug hooking is a fiber craft. Anything you can do with fabric, right, which includes sewing, you can do with rug hooking. So she ended up, just to paraphrase, she ended up drawing these animals. That is really huge, Jessica. Jessica says, I love her colors for the ABC rug with so many neutrals and how the letters are in the stream. Sharon, good to see you. Good morning. Um, Suzanne hooks the pieces small because she's traveling around, she's visiting with friends, she's going to the guild meeting. She doesn't want to bring a rug, right? That's, what did I say? 5 by, thank you, Jessica, 5 by 9. So this makes a lot of sense because that's also difficult on a frame. So she hooks the animals individually and then she attaches them to the rug. Now, how do I know that this will work? I know this will work based, and here's another picture of her just hooking them individually, right? This will work because this is how you restore rugs, right? You restore rugs by, so I'm going to lean back for a second. You restore rugs by putting another layer of the same or similar material onto it and then hooking through 2 layers. So you know that that's going to work. If you put this down and sort of run a running stitch around it, or I'm wondering if she glued it, because she's showing this picture here. I don't know if I can find it quickly in the article, but I'm wondering if she glued that on. I don't think that I would glue it. I think I would just hand do a running stitch, like a very loose basting stitch around it. But this is how we repair and restore rugs, right? We put another layer of material on and then hook through both. This is what women did in the 1950s. This was the most popular way to finish the edges of the rug, right? And you couldn't do this on a frame, obviously. But you would fold the material under, right, the border, the unfinished border, you would tuck it under and hook through both layers so that there was no finishing, there was no sewing, there was no whip stitching, there was no cord, there was no band around the edge of any sort, right? It was already incorporated into the rug because around those borders you hook through the 2 layers, you hook through the border. So, and I'll put this into the article I'm writing for Magpie Times. I'm writing an article, the first article on a brick and mortar store, the White Cat, right? I was just with Pat on Cape Cod, and I took a lot of pictures there. And that's one of her great tricks too, is she sometimes, she does this applique thing where she attaches something and hooks through both layers. So this is a known, this was not known to Suzanne, which makes it fun that she discovered it because it was new to her. So she legitimately discovered it. But this technique has been used ever since rug hooking. I mean, ever since patching rugs. When you look at old rugs and you turn them over and they have a piece of burlap and it's hooked, someone has hooked through the broken layer or the damaged layer and the new layer. It can be done. It's fairly easy to do. You think, oh well, will the holes align? You'll make them align, right? You make them align as you go. It's not a difficult thing to do. I don't know that I'd want to do it with like rug warp because that's really, really such a tight backing. With monk's cloth, you could, but I'd be much more inclined to do this technique with linen or burlap because they're much looser backings. You know what I mean? Just easier to find the hole every time you're trying to hook a loop. So I thought this was a beautiful article, Suzanne. Well done. It really is charming. It's a charming story. Great tip in there, right? And a great reminder of what's possible. There's an article a little bit further along from Lizanne Miller at Cushing, and that's in Wells, Maine. And this is an article, this is a 4-page article about the history of W. Cushing and Company, operating in Maine since 1879. So this is 4 pages of photographs, lore, history about the family, the Wainwright Cushing family, the dyes, right, the early dyes, the contemporary dyes. It's a beautiful historical article about a significant and important landmark, right, the Cushing store in Wells, Maine. Absolutely beautiful article. I love these meaningful historical additions, right? It's so important to give a hat tip to the history, and that was a very well done article, highly illustrated and really engaging. Now, this piece is great for right now. It's called United as One. Is a pattern designed by Carol Stish, and this is Atha region number 1. This is by Tricia Miller Alstead. This is the Quabbin chapter, which is just over the line to Massachusetts, right? It's near Springfield, Massachusetts, so just north of Hartford, Connecticut. Tricia Miller is in Alstead, New Hampshire. Right? All of the states around here are really close together, their borders. So she's from New Hampshire. She's in the Quabbin chapter that's in Massachusetts. And region number 1 covers mostly Connecticut, but just the south of Massachusetts. So that's how close our states are in New England. But what a beautiful piece, United as One. This is a wonderful pattern to use up worms from previous projects. Caroline's patterns are available through Honey Beehive, and you can find their ad on the inside back cover. Always advertising in Atha, easy to find. But I think this is a beautiful piece, particularly after a weekend of lots of protests, right? I'm going to stop there, and I don't want to antagonize anyone, but I think this is a beautiful piece with a lovely universal message behind it. There's another great article, right? This is a 2-page article by Vicki Gurmrath of Edinburgh, Virginia, Atha region number 3, with Hands and Hearts chapter. And guess what Vicki loves? Guess what she loves? It's peacocks. This is so beautiful. The piece is called, appropriately, I love peacocks! Exclamation point. And Vicki says, I've always loved peacocks for their gorgeous colors. Sadly, I've never owned any, but those teals and blues are the colors I use in most of my rugs, and also the clothes that I wear. My large wall hanging, and that's this one. My large wall hanging is my favorite of all the rugs I've hooked. I started it with Sarah Giuliani at the Maryland Shores Rug School in Ocean City several years ago. She dyed most of the wool for it as well. It is royal peacock. Okay, so the pattern is by Michelle Miccarelli. It is called Royal Peacock. It is 30 by 51, and it is one of Vicki's larger projects. Beautiful peacock, and she shows us a little bit more of her peacock stuff. This is another unusual one called Princess Perla, Peacock of the Seas, and this is by the Canadian company Encompassing Designs. This is 18 by 28, and Vicki says she loved hooking this design. Another beautiful mermaid. Encompassing Designs is a great company, lots of really interesting original designs. And this is a pillow of Vicki's own design, this little peacock pillow. Isn't this fantastic? She's been hooking rugs for 20 years with a group of friends that meets every week. She recently joined the Atha chapter called With Hands and Hearts at the Antietam Fiber, With Hands and Hearts Antietam Fiber Artists. I think that's the full name. I've displayed my rugs several different places and sold some of them at a local art gallery. Fantastic. Keeping the flame alive. Vicki, these are gorgeous rugs. I also love peacocks, and it was a great inspiration to see those 3 beautiful rugs. I loved seeing, particularly the one of your design. Really charming. This is another great article. Where do you find your ideas? This is a 2-page article by Mary Allenstein of Briarcliff Manor, New York, Atha region number 2. And she talks about, in this article, obviously, where do you get your designs? Well, in your ideas. Well, in this case, out the window, right? This little jar, it's the very vessel that's holding these plants, and then the drawing of it turns into a beautiful hooked rug placed in front of a window with a very abstract foreground, right? Layers of brown. It's absolutely beautiful. I super love it. It's a charming article. It's a charming piece. And it does remind me that you can get your ideas anywhere, right? Let me see. Hold on one second. I just want to see how much. Ooh, we've got a lot more. Oh, no, we don't. No, we don't. Sorry. We've got quite a few more. I've just got my eye on the time because Teddy's got a half day again. Let's see how it goes. So I'm going by Hummingbird because we looked at Hummingbird. I love this piece. This is Atha region number 1, hooked by Elizabeth Lysick of Keene, New Hampshire. This is called Poppies and Lupines, hooked and designed by Elizabeth Lysick. Just think this is so perfect, right? I love the sort of horizon line break of two impossible outdoor colors, right? This super lemony lime and then the kind of mixed spearmint. Beautiful materials here. It looks like all yarn. I love the idea of the red poppies with the purple lupines, right? Lupines are so elusive for me in this part of the country. I feel like I have to drive at least to Vermont to find the lupines. Absolutely beautiful composition. Very simple composition. The thing that makes this for me are the colors. There's 4 colors plus black, which is a neutral. Actually, no, 5 because the poppies have shading. I love the outlining in this piece, right? It really looks like a wood block that's been colored. It is a impossibly charming piece in my mind. I love the colors. I love the repetition of the 2 motifs. I love the simplicity. It's just a stunning piece to look at. This is exactly what I love. It has a real artistic flair, doesn't it? It's not realistic, and I think that's one of the things I like the most about it. It just has a vibe to it, doesn't it? It's a beautiful piece, Elizabeth. I really stopped short while I was flipping through to enjoy that piece. I'm forwarding past an article that's very handy from Atha region number 10, talking about save the date. And we're already talking about Salt Lake City, the hooking bee Atha 2026, September 9 through 12 of 2026. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's an advertisement in there. Already looking forward to and planning that event. I see a full page ad also by Liz Marino. We're going to be visiting Liz Marino soon to do an exclusive Tigger interview. She started her endangered species project, which will be at Tigger. It'll be at Sauter 2026, but it'll then go to Tigger as a full display with tons of classes and Pearl McGowan teachers teaching their respective patterns. She's getting a huge number of people engaging in this, but you must contact her. So contact Liz Marino. She's very easy to find. And if you've got Atha magazine, even easier. You want to get in touch with her if you would like to do an endangered species animal. You design it and you make it, but it becomes part of this important display that will be displayed at both Sauter and Tigger that year and then become the basis for classes. And I would like to go up there with Haley and Naomi and talk to Liz about how this is shaping up, because she was expecting there to be a good turnout. I talked to her on the phone a lot, and it's gone like crazy. It's gone like haywire crazy. There's so many people involved. I'd like to hear more about it. I bet a lot of people would like to hear more about it. This article is called My Maryland Icon Rug by Deborah Saylor of Hagerstown, Maryland. And this is the chapter, region number 3, called With Hands and Hearts, Antietam Fiber Artists Chapter. This is a beautiful piece that in the chapter you can see in the article that there has been a ribbon given here, right? So this is a beautiful piece, and I stopped on it because my friend Colleen Tiefenthal of Beechnut Studio is working on her giant Maryland rug too. Maryland, I have discovered recently, is such a beautiful state, offering so much, and there is a great sampling in this rug of what Maryland has to offer. Some of the icons represented in this rug, in Deborah's own words, are the raven, oriole, white oak leaf, black-eyed Susan, diamondback tortoise, blue crab, Maryland flag, Chesapeake Bay, and Bay Bridge. Lots of motifs in one piece, and it's not crowded at all, is it? It's just gorgeous. You can see the bridge in the background, of course. It's just gorgeous. I always recognize Maryland car plates immediately because of the racing plate. You know what I mean when they drive by you. Such a beautiful piece, 1788. Deborah, this is a gorgeous article on how you made this piece, planned this piece, and it's a great way to celebrate Maryland. I'm just going to let me do a quick, there's still, hold on one second, there's still a lot of slides. I didn't realize, I think we're going to have to hold on that. I thought, let's just race through. I don't want to race through anything. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to go back one to Deborah Saylor's My Maryland Icon Rug. Because it's not a huge issue, right? I have to say, it's not a huge issue of Atha, but there are some beautiful pieces in there. and I want to actually look at them and not race through them. So let's come back together for that. We'll see how this goes. I will run another show this week. Let me look at my calendar really quick. I because um, let's see. Okay. Because I will be away this weekend. So I will be traveling on Friday, heading up to Maine. It is a bit of a drive, so I'm turning it into an overnight thing. Um, okay. So I will come back to you both on YouTube and in our Facebook group, which is Raw Cooking and Punch Needle Club, and give you the second show for this week. So I won't be on for an evening show this week because I will be teaching up north. But I will be on for Sonia Delauney, so I hope you're signed up for Wednesday. I'm working on that right now. Um, it's a busy week for sure. So yeah, I'll probably be back with you either Tuesday or Wednesday morning, probably Wednesday morning. Let me slate that in. I'm going to put that on the calendar now. Let's plan for coffee time Wednesday because Kirsten runs her hooking group tomorrow, Tuesday and Thursday, so I don't like to conflict with those. So let's do coffee time on Wednesday, same thing at 11 a.m. And I'm going to save that, so that's in the calendar. I'll do that, and then we'll do Sonia Delauney from 4 to 6. And I hope you're signed up for that. That'll be some great time together, some great inspiration time. So let's do that, and we will on the Wednesday episode conclude this issue of Atha magazine, and I would also like to, if we have time, also finish looking. Remember the episode we did last Monday, looking, or maybe it was Wednesday, looking at the quilt books on postcard fiber postcards. We were talking about them in relation to so many of you doing the Wish You Were Here postcard rug exchange, the small rug exchange. And these books, in my mind, are super helpful in helping you design something that will work for you, right? And not fight you, because a postcard is small. So I feel like these quilt books that we started looking at were really helpful in terms of synthesizing an idea that's actually manageable, right? I want you to succeed at making these small postcards and not get too ambitious with them, because it's a small format. So I feel like that was a helpful conversation. We'll finish up the Atha magazine and we'll look at the rest of the postcard conversation this coming Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you then. In the meantime, remember, Magpie Times number 7 is on pre-order. You have until May 1st to get stuff in for number 6, which is the summer issue. You have tons of time still. I'm still working like crazy on my stuff, and like lots of great patterns in there as well. I'm putting out, for people who are pre-ordering, you will get a signed copy of Magpie Times and a PDF of a new Caswell carpet block that I have not officially put out. So that'll be coming to you too, something to work on in between now and then. And otherwise, you can reach me at ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com if you have any questions about anything, especially Magpie, books that are coming out, how you might get involved, etc., etc., etc. I hope you all have a good tomorrow, and I will be back with you on Wednesday, 11 a.m.